Hello, dears, how are you? Every society have good people and bad people in it. Although some of the societies, like that of ours, where the justice system is too poor, manipulation and exploitation is very common, and people are being manipulated upon every now and there, then every here and there. And maybe people who are the manipulators, they are seen thriving, developing at a very good pace. But somehow those who are being manipulated upon, these people develop lots of anxiety and mental stress in themselves. And it is very important indeed that we are better able to understand the manipulators and their manipulative tactics as well. What they say to their prey, to trap some of the people, to manipulate some of the people, and of course, then, what is the way to protect ourselves? The both of these sides are going to be discussed in our today's talk, and I am going to present here the five manipulative tactics are the 10 manipulative tactics of the manipulators. The 10 sentences they say quite often. 10 of the sentences they say quite often to their prey for the purpose of manipulating them. And we are also going to talk about how to protect ourselves, and of course there are 10 ways to protect ourselves as well. So let's begin with the 10 sentences the manipulators are seen, saying quite often. The first one, they say quite often that you are too sensitive. You are too sensitive. That is what they say to their prospective prey. And why do they say it? Actually, they want to doubt. They want us. They want you to make you doubt your own feelings, to make you doubt your own emotions. So that is the way, the first way of the manipulators. And that the second is, the second sentence they say quite often, it is, you are overreacting. They say quite often to their prey that you are overreacting. Why do they say this thing? Because they are trying to downplay your concern. They are, by saying this thing that you are overreacting, they are trying to downplay your concern. Now the third modus operandi, or the third tool, the third tactic of the manipulators is, they will say, I am only saying this because I care about you. I am only saying this thing to you because I care about you. Now, the question is that what is the purpose, the meaning behind this sentence of there? It is because they are trying to justify, they are trying to justify their, unreasonable criticism, or because they want to control you. For the both of these reasons, they are seen saying that, I am only saying this because I care about you. So that they are actually seeking a license, they are seeking a license to control us. So that is absolutely nonsense, wrong. Now the fourth tactic of these people, the manipulators, is that you are not listening to me. You are not listening to me, they say quite often. Why do they say this thing? To the people, to the naive people, to the sincere people, to the people who are not cunning, to the people who are not suspecting, unsuspecting people, to the people who are credulous, the people who are gullible, So, my dear friends and fellows, they say this thing to shift the focus from their behavior to yours, because they want to shift the focus from their behavior to your behavior. That is why they are seen saying this thing: you are not listening to me. You are not listening to me. Now, the fifth tactic of these manipulators is that is, if you really loved me, you would do this. If you really loved me, you would do this. Why do they say this thing? Because because to guilt trip you into doing something what you should not be doing. To guilt trip you into something, you know into doing something which otherwise you should not have been doing it at all. So that is their fifth tactic. Now the sixth tactic of these people is: you are so lucky. You are so lucky to have me. Why are they saying this thing? You are so lucky to have me, because they people are actually to me they why are they saying this thing? To make you feel dependent, are grateful to them. Making us feel dependent upon those people and making us grateful to those people. Then the manipulators, they are seen saying that you are lucky to have me. Now, the seventh tactic of these manipulators is that, I am the only one who really understands you. I am the only one who really understands you. Now, the question is that why do they say this thing? What they want to get out of this sentence? This is because, to isolate you from other, to make you isolated person, to isolate you from others. That is why they are seen saying this thing: I am the only one who understands you too much. Now the eighth sentence, which is quite often used by the manipulators, is that you are not good enough. They will say quite often, you are not good enough. Why do they say this thing? Because to erode your self confidence. To erode your self confidence. Once the self confidence is eroded, now it is they have succeeded. Now we will ask them, okay, what you want me to do, and we will comply like we are their slaves. We are not their slaves at all. We are a totally independent person. So why to believe in saying, once they say that you are not good enough, actually I am quite good person. I am a competent person. I am a capable person. I can do that. I can understand things. I don't need your interference. Now the now the next step is, they say quite often that I do this thing for your own good. I do this thing for your own good. Why do they say this thing? Because to justify a controlling behavior of theirs, since they want to control, since they want to justify the controlling behaviors of theirs. So that is why this is this thing: I do this for your own good. I do this thing only for your own good. I have nothing to do with it. I am not going to get any benefit out of it at all. Rather, it is only because I want good for you. Now, the tenth and the last tactics they are seen using quite often against the naive people, against the credulous people, against the gullible people, against the unsuspecting people is that they will say, you will regret this if you don't do what I say. You will regret this. You will repent it later on if you don't do what I say. Why do they say this thing? Because to instill fear, and anxiety, because they want to instill fear and they want to instill the anxiety in us. That is why they are seen saying this thing quite often, that you will regret later on if you don't do what I want you to do. So these are the 10 tools of the manipulator, and we need to memorize it. We need to understand it so that anytime somebody is using any of these tools against us, to manipulate us, to exploit us, to take control over us, so we should be understanding it quickly. Now there are 10 ways to protect ourselves from these people. 10 ways to protect ourselves from the manipulators. And the first such way is that trust your instincts. Trusting your instincts. And why? Because if something feels off, it probably is. If something feels off, it probably is. And that is why we need to trust our instinct. Not necessarily we do have certain proofs. We don't need the proofs. We don't need the proof at all. Why? Because I feel in my, once I do have the gut feeling, once my instincts are saying that this person is not right, or this what somebody is trying to do is not right at all, we need to say simply no, I am not satisfied, and you keep yourself away from me. Now the second thing is the how to protect ourselves. It is set clear boundaries. Setting off clear boundaries. And it is communicate your needs and communicate your expectations very clearly. Communicating our needs on the one hand and our expectations on the other hand in a very clear manner. Now the third way to protect ourselves from the manipulative behavior of somebody, it is that don't take the bait. Don't take the bait at all. And why? Because avoid reacting impulsively to manipulators sentences. Whatever they say, do not respond spontaneously at all. Do not respond impulsively at all. Take time, be considered very well, and that then react in a more sensible, more mature manner. Now, the fourth way to protect ourselves from the manipulative behavior, that is stay calm and stay assertive as well. Staying calm on the one hand, and staying assertive on the other hand. So why? Because maintain your composure and express your feelings and express your needs clearly. Maintain your composure and express your feelings, express your needs in a very clear manner. So that is the fourth way to protect ourselves. And the fifth way is that seek outside help. Seeking the help from outside. And it is actually seeking the help from outside. Talk to the trusted friends, talk to the family members, or talk to a therapist about your concerns. Talking to what? Talking to whom? Talking to your family members, talking to a trusted friend, and of course, talking to a therapist as well. So that is how we can seek the outside help. Now, the sixth way to protect ourselves, and that is practice self care. Practicing what? Practicing self care. Why? Take care of your physical, emotional, and mental well being. Taking care of your physical, your emotional, and your mental well being. So, well being means that a state of being happy and being healthy, being happy and being fulfilled as well. So we need to take care of our emotional, mental, and physical well-being. So take a very good care of yourself. Taking a very good care of yourself, also provide yourself with the enough amount of sleep, at least 7 to 8 hours per night. And we need to take the nutritious food on the other hand, and of course we need to carry on the physical exercises. And at the end, we need to somehow manage our stress level. The four of these things combined mean that we are taking care of ourselves, and that is taking enough rest, enough sleep, and proper nutrition, and the physical exercises, and the stress management practices as well. So that is how we can take care of ourselves. Now the seventh way to protect ourselves from the manipulators tactics, and that is that watch for inconsistencies, watching for the inconsistencies, watching for the discrepancies between their words and between their actions as well. That is, watch for inconsistencies and watch for discrepancies. And it is actually, pay attention to their words, the difference between their words and the difference and their actions as well, because these people are saying one thing and doing another thing, because they are not honest, because actually they are a crook people. They are actually crook people. Now, the eighth way to protect ourselves, and that is, don't internalize criticism. Don't internalize their criticism at all. Why not to do that? Remember that criticism is often a reflection of the manipulators and not that of us. It is not because of us. It is only because they are a manipulator, because they are a crook, because they are a dishonest people, because they are uncaring people. That is why they are criticizing so much. I am not going to internalize that criticism. I simply tell myself that it is because of their behavior and not because of me at all. Now, the ninth, way to protect ourselves, immunize ourselves, make ourselves safe enough, and this is use gray rock technique. Using of the gray rock technique. What is this gray rock technique, by the way? It is, remain neutral and remain unemotional as well. Being neutral on the one hand, unemotional on the other hand, in interaction with the manipulator, not to feel anxious at all, not to feel nervous at all, not to feel intimidated at all. Rather, we need to remain unemotional and we need to remain neutral. We need to remain unemotional, not to get impressed by those people at all. Now, the tenth and the last way to protect ourselves from the manipulation of these crook people, it is that prioritize your own needs. Prioritizing your own needs. How can we do that, by the way? It is by, remember that your needs and your feelings are valid and important as well. Remembering that my needs, your needs, our feelings as well are important, and these are quite genuine, quite valid as well. So that is why I need to prioritize my own needs. You need to prioritize your own need. Now, remember, manipulation is, manipulation is a move, is not acceptable at all, and you deserve to be treated, you deserve to be treated with the respect, with the kindness, with the care. So that is all. It is very important topic indeed, because there are crook people around us, because there are manipulators around us, and they are always sharpening their tools. These crook people are always sharpening their tools to slaughter us, to manipulate us, to gain a control upon our life, which is not and totally, absolutely unjustifiable, and it cannot be permitted at all. So the only thing left, the only option left for us is that we need to prepare ourselves. And here in our today's talk, I have presented the 10 ways to save to protect ourselves, to make ourselves safe enough from the clutches, from the manipulations and exploitations of these crook people, these manipulators. So that is all from me today. Thank you very much.